Hi folks, my name's Aaron. This is my first stream or video here. Anyways, just testing it out. First thing I'm going to go over is I just got a jury summons. So I'm going to be talking about civic duty, civic responsibility. When I first got it, my first thought was, it's like, oh man, I got to go do this. And then it's like, wait a second, I do have to do this. It's something I need to do to help make my country a better place. One of the things about me you'll find is that I'm kind of, I'll stop and think. So you might not like my presentation. Okay, fine. All this is off the cuff. And I know my lighting's not good. My video quality's not good. My sound, I don't know how good it is. We'll see how you like it. Anyways, I really don't know what to say for this. But I'm going to have to go into this jury duty thing. It doesn't start until next month. Yeah. December 2nd. We'll see what it's about. The more I think about it, the more I think that we have to make sure, or I have to make sure, my own personal responsibility is that you can't convict an innocent man. I don't know who it was that said that it's better to let 10 guilty go free than one innocent man be falsely convicted. Why is that? Well, people commit crimes all the time, and they get away with it all the time, or very often. Now, if somebody that's not guilty of a crime gets convicted of this crime that he's accused of, other people would have no incentive to follow the law because they could just get picked up and sent to Lubyanka prison for whatever reason it might be, and shot in the back of the head in the basement. So we need to be pretty sure, really sure, that innocent men don't get thrown in jail or executed for a crime they didn't commit. That's my thoughts on the matter. That kind of leads into why we have laws and stuff in the first place. Why? Well, if you don't have a legal system that is fair and just for everybody, then once again, there's no incentive to be a civilized person in a society. And what you end up with is the perverted golden rule of He who has the gold makes the rules. And that's what we're living in right now. He who has the gold makes the rules. And that's something that is going to need to end if I want my son to have a better country than I found. If I can leave behind a better world for him, then I've succeeded. What can I do? I've been thinking about this for quite a while now. I've been thinking about this in earnest more and more. Oh, I would say probably starting and slowly expanding my thoughts on this matter for the last 10 years. I started with listening to Stephen Molyneux. Who else? Some other guys on YouTube. But he was the one that got me started on this. And that led me to doing a bit of reading, looking at myself, what I think and do. And I saw a lot of things that I didn't like about myself. And I started doing something about that, both from listening to his arguments and from the things I've started reading. The things I started reading were books on the Stoics, hence my channel name, and the Bible. And I realized that I tried to be a decent and moral person, but I wasn't consistent in it. There were things that I knew, but I only listened to that inner voice occasionally. I would do stuff that wasn't the right thing. I'd do things that were the selfish thing at the time. And I still do. And I'm working at not doing those things, because when you do those things, you're not making the world a better place for your kid and for other people's kids. And I've come to learn to realize that the things I do, they ripple out, they echo out into the world. And these things affect other people and how they behave and how they act. And they will come back to impact both myself and my son. And the responsible thing, the loving thing to do for my son is to act right. To speak right. And to speak truth. I know a lot of people don't like to speak truth to themselves because when you do, you have to look at yourself and what you've done and say, man, that was wrong. And it's gonna cause problems for people I love directly. And for people out there who will someday be interacting with my son and myself 20 years from now, 40 years from now, after I'm dead. For any grandkids I might have in the future. But everything you do comes back to you, good or bad, and it comes back to your and on your descendants. It may not be immediate. I mean, it probably won't. But it will. I don't know what else to say right now. I really don't. I haven't really thought about what I would say. I just press record and go. I know it looks like I'm not looking at you as I'm speaking. I'm just kind of looking at the wall, at the ceiling. I mean, this camera thing's not normal to me. It's weird. It's like staring at a piece of plastic. I put the camera right above my picture so it'll look like I'm speaking to you. But it's still really weird. But I'll try and live stream tomorrow when YouTube opens the account for live streaming, because I just created this account. But I'm just going to end it here with, we all do have a personal responsibility to everyone around us to do our civic duty. And jury duty really isn't the extent or the limit. 2 years ago, I was pretty fed up. Well, long before that even. I don't know, what, 2018? I guess it would have been 2018. So that would have been 2017. I was pretty fed up. And I thought about running for office. And I didn't do it. Then in 2019, I thought about running for office for the 2020 year. And I didn't do it. And then for the 2022 election year, I did run for office. And I was elected to the lowest level I could imagine is the local elementary school board level. And I won. And I've seen some things that are absolutely horrifying, disgusting, disturbing. And I have 2 more years in my responsibility that I agreed to do. One of the reasons... Okay, here's some of the reasons that I didn't run previously in 2017 and 2019. One, I was afraid of doing it. Afraid of getting up in front of people and speaking. I was afraid that if I did win, I wouldn't be able to be here for my son. Let's say if I ended up having to go to Sacramento, that's a long commute. Would I have to stay in a hotel overnight there? And he was pretty young at that time. So let's see, he's 12 now. So what? 4 years ago, he would have been 8. So 6 and then 8. And then to not have dad at home at night or not get home until late, that would have sucked. And that kind of bothered me. Local school board doesn't bother me so much. He's 12 now. If I decide to start running, I guess that would be a year from now. Well, at least put my name in the hat a year from now. And then run for the position which would start, or the election would take place in 2 years. That would be 2026. So he'd be 14. Is that good? Is that good for him? The idea of getting in front of crowds of people and speaking is still kind of scary. But when I have discussions with my friends on these subjects, I'm not intimidated by talking to them, arguing with them. I mean, we have fun doing it. Is it any different doing that than doing it in front of a whole bunch of people? It's not too intimidating to me now, sitting on the school board meetings. Yeah, there's only maybe 20 people in the room, but it's not that bad. And I kind of have the responsibility to do the best I can for this city, for my state, for the country. Some of the things I've been reading about, jumping topics here, sort of, regarding the Stoics and some of the history I read coming up with my name, at least for this channel. Cincinnatus. I really admire, I respect what he did. He did his civic duty and he said, I'm done, I'm going home. And I'm a big believer in that. That's basically a very early term limits type of thing. I'm doing my thing and I'm gone. Somebody else gets to pick up the load and carry it for a while. And I think that's important. Connected to that is the Stoicism. I've been reading. I haven't touched Cicero yet, but I've started with Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca. On future streams, I'll probably read these things and go over each point or discussion issue, so you get a feel of what I'm thinking, why I'm thinking it. One of the things I really like is the virtues that they profess. I don't know if that's the right word. And if you look up how they meant them, courage, temperance, wisdom, justice, what did they mean by these? I'll go over that. I'll go over that as well. So anyways, I'll see you soon.